Welcome to Bay Hill News Network Morning News and Sports, sponsored by.
Looking for a place to relax with natural cool breeze and friendly surroundings? Then check the Bay Hill Tree Bar, located at Bay Hill Cane Garden. We have everything a bar will have. We also sell Shell 20 pounds of cooking gas at the Bay Hill Tree Bar. This tasty roti skin can be found at Randy and Bonnie's Supermarket, or you can order this tasty roti and skin at 1784-528-2979. That's 1784-528-2879.
Police arrested and charged Atiba Phillips, a 39-year-old laborer of Redemption Sharps, with the offense of assault and damage to property. The investigation revealed that the accused allegedly assaulted a 58-year-old resident of the same address by lifting her up and slamming her on the public road, causing actual bodily harm. Additionally, he was charged for without lawful excuse damaged one black DL1 cellular phone valued at $450.00 ECC. The offense was committed on August 4, 2024, at Redemption Sharps. Phillips appeared before the Serious Offences Court on August 19, 2024, and pleaded guilty to both charges. However, after explaining the circumstances leading up to the offences to the court, the presiding magistrate entered a not guilty plea on the defendant's behalf for the offense of assault. He was granted bail in the sum of $1,000.00 ECC with one surety and was ordered not to have any contact with the complainant. Phillips was also ordered to report to the Central Police Station every Monday between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Police arrested and charged Rohan Soline, a 49-year-old mechanic of Paulover, with the offense of assault. According to the investigations, the accused allegedly assaulted a 19-year-old resident of Diamonds Village by striking her on her lower back with a cutlass, causing actual bodily harm to the 19-year-old. The offense was committed on July 17, 2024, at Paulover. Soline appeared before the Serious Offences Court on August 19, 2024, and pleaded not guilty. Station bail is to be continued and he was ordered not to have any contact with the complainant. The matter was adjourned and transferred to the Kingstown Magistrate Court for hearing on September 9, 2024. The Ministry of National Mobilization, Social Development and Postal Services has begun its distribution of over 1,200 cash vouchers to assist families with the purchase of back-to-school supplies and uniforms. The Social Support Initiative is part of a national, multifaceted emergency response and recovery program following the impact of Hurricane Beryl on July 1, 2024. Police arrested and charged Julian Moore, a 46-year-old auto mechanic of Park Hill/Edinburgh, with the offences of possession of a controlled drug, drug trafficking and grievous bodily harm. According to the investigation, the accused allegedly had in his possession a controlled drug, namely 11,054 grams, of cocaine, with the intent to supply another. He was further charged for having in his possession the same quantity of drugs for the purpose of drug trafficking. Additionally, the accused was charged with unlawfully and maliciously inflicting grievous bodily harm on a 41-year-old police officer by driving a motor vehicle and hitting him on the right side of his body. The Kingstown Technical Institute, KTI, has extended the registration period to its full-time Caribbean Vocational Qualification, CVQ, program at levels 1 and 2 to Thursday, August 29, 2024. Courses offered are plumbing, electrical installation, general office administration and food preparation and cookery. Application forms can be collected at the Institute on Mondays to Fridays between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. or accessed on its Facebook page. For further information you can contact the Institute at 457-1407. The Center for Enterprise Development Inc. is now under new management with the appointment of Mrs. Ronit Lewis as the general manager of the organization in January 2024. An experienced business consultant with over 15 years in business development, Mrs. Lewis succeeded Mr. Felix Lewis, who retired in October 2022 after leading the SED since its inception in 2004. Mrs. Lewis, who is also a former business development officer with the SED, has held management positions as the incubator manager of the NCTI Business Incubator, under the Caribbean Regional Communications Infrastructure Program and the Promoting Youth Micro Enterprises Office. Chairman of the SED's Board of Directors, Mr. Barnard Hamilton, said they happily welcome her to the post. We are confident that Mrs. Lewis possesses the professional experience and competencies necessary to lead the organization in the execution of its business development mandate to the small business sector in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. On behalf of the Board of Directors, and the management and staff of the organization, we wish her every success in her new job. Mrs. Ronette Lewis holds a bachelor's degree in marketing and a master's degree in small and medium enterprise management. Entrepreneurship. The Center for Enterprise Development Incorporated is a business support organization, BSO, that was established 20. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves led a high-level delegation to the Southern Grenadines on Monday, to conduct a comprehensive assessment of the ongoing recovery efforts following the devastation caused by Hurricane Beryl. The team, which included Minister of Grenadines Affairs Honorable Barerva Brown, former Permanent Secretary of National Security Mr. Godfrey Pompey, CEO of Bragsa Mr. Kem Barthomelo, and Director of Grenadines Affairs Mr. Edwin Snag, among other key officials, along with former West Indies cricketer Marlon Samuels, visited several islands to evaluate progress and identify critical needs for the restoration of affected areas. During the visit, the Prime Minister and his team conducted on-site inspections and held a series of closed-door meetings in Canouan, where they received updates from the local police base. The island has seen significant progress, with approximately 75% of electricity restored. On Union Island, which bore the brunt of Hurricane Beryl's impact, cleanup efforts are heightened. The Prime Minister and his delegation met with members of REACT and Gumnalimbo, two groups leading the technical and logistical operations to restore the island's functionality. A series of seminars developed by the OAS Women's Economic Empowerment Project to help small-scale entrepreneurs across the OECS and Latin America to build sustainable livelihoods through the digital economy was rolled out by the Center for Enterprise Development Inc. in April. 15 entrepreneurs from various sectors throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines attended the seminar and gained insights into the tools to run or use digital and online businesses in an environment full of opportunities and challenges for developing economies. The OAS We Caribbean project manager, Ms. Lizra Fabian, addressed the opening of the seminar and advised the women entrepreneurs to better position themselves to benefit from the SVG Associations of Montreal and Toronto customized mugs with the Vinci Unity Picnic brand on the other side. These are wonderful pieces that serve as a reminder of the important work our families are doing and a constant reminder of one of our staple events in Canada, the Vinci Unity Picnic. Shopping for a good cause. Every bit helps to restore the communities impacted by Hurricane Beryl. It's a long road to recovery, but collectively we can make a difference. The Nemo Emergency Operations Center on Union Island convened a stakeholder meeting to strengthen the multiple response and recovery operations in the Southern Grenadines. Discussions during the meeting zoomed in on several operational matters, including the opening of a community kitchen to replace the meal service provided by the World Central Kitchen, effective August 31. The Union Island Community Kitchen will operate from the site of the Determination Bar and Restaurant in Clifton, Union Island. JCI St. Vincent Creed, in partnership with the Nutrition Unit of the Ministry of Health and other key stakeholders, successfully hosted a health fair in the northern community of Fancy. The event, which featured 8 informative stalls, aimed to address a wide range of health concerns among residents. The health fair offered a comprehensive slate of services, including on-the-spot dental checks and procedures, blood pressure and blood sugar screenings, mental health and wellness support, and eye examinations courtesy of Quartz Optical. The nutrition unit within the Ministry of Health provided BMI checks, dietary consultations, and a popular food sampling station. President of JCI St. Vincent Creed, Wanaka Ashton, emphasized the importance of the annual health fair and explained the rationale behind choosing Fancy as this year's location. We recognize the challenges faced by residents in accessing healthcare services, particularly in rural areas. By bringing these essential services directly to the community, we hope to improve the overall health and well-being of the people of Fancy, she stated. Ashton also highlighted the organization's commitment to serving the needs of the community. JCI St. Vincent Creed is dedicated to making a positive impact on the lives of our fellow citizens.
We now join for the Caribbean News Desk Morning Edition.
From the Caribbean News Desk, the Morning Edition. Good morning, I'm Kendall Morgan.
And I'm Dennis Chabot with the latest from across the Caribbean.
Teachers in Guyana are to get a 10% salary increase for this year, 8% next year, and 9% in 2026. The agreement between the Guyana Teachers Union and the Ministry of Education also provides for several non-taxable allowances and duty-free concessions. However, Union General Secretary Coretta MacDonald has accused President Dr. Mark Light of deceiving a number of negotiators and members of the Teachers Union's General Council. She says he acted in concert with the government and signed an agreement that contains meager benefits. But the Teachers Union president dismisses his General Secretary's accusation and says under the rules of the union, he is compelled to sign the agreement.
The real issue was the percentage that was offered. And the fact that the majority of General Council said, let's take it. That is what propelled me to say, let's go ahead and have it signed. If the members felt that the decision should have been overturned, they would have written in those 12 days, that they had 21 days to write, they would have written in those 12 days to indicate that they needed, as far as I know, nobody has written. So the decision stood.
Vincentian Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves is dismissing claims that Jamaican dancehall star Vybz Kartel's ongoing visitors in Vincent and the Grenadines may be partly to support his re-election bid among youth voters. Kartel, whose birth name is Aditya Palmer, has been in St. Vincent and the Grenadines since last Friday on a visit welcomed by the Vincentian leader.
As I have won 5 elections on the run, on the trot, without any involvement from Mr. Palmer, and I shall win the 6th time I can with or without Mr. Palmer's assistance.
Vybz Kartel's visit to SVG began 2 weeks after Jamaica's Court of Appeal ruled against a retrial for murder for which he had already spent 13 years in prison. He has reportedly seen a Vincentian-based Cuban-born endocrinologist and a local medical support team in relation to his diagnosis with Graves' disease. Dr. Gonsalves says the dancehall artist will also use some of his time in St. Vincent and Grenadines to talk to young people.
And I understand that he's interested in meeting some young cultural artists and to talk to them, and also to talk to persons to be disciplined and stay away from criminal activities. That's what I've been advised. I didn't ask him to do any of that. That is being done independently.
The United States is disappointed that only 2 Caribbean Community CARICOM member states endorsed a joint statement calling for democracy in Venezuela. That statement calls for the immediate publication of all original records and the impartial and independent verification of Venezuela's July 28 election results, preferably by an international entity, to ensure respect for the will of Venezuelans as expressed at the polls. U.S. Ambassador to CARICOM Nicole Theriot welcomed Guyana and Suriname's support of the statement, which condemned repression of protesters and the violence that has claimed the lives of many Venezuelans in the post-election period.
We were extremely pleased that the governments of Guyana and Suriname signed on to that statement. It's incredibly important to us that we are all together in defending democracy in this region and globally. And it meant a lot to us to have those partners in the region, global, well, especially Guyana, becoming a global leader. It meant so much to have Guyana on that statement. We're very, very grateful, and we hope that it will have an impact on President Maduro and his administration moving forward.
Guyana's Foreign Secretary Robert Persad, in reposting the statement on his Facebook page, remarked that democracy will triumph, and those states, including Caribbean leftists which seek to justify rigging, must decide which side of history they want to be on. The American ambassador says the U.S. is disappointed that the other CARICOM member states did not support the statement.
That's quite disappointing, actually. For us, it seems very clear that to support democracy, certain things need to be done with regard to the elections. And if those other countries chose not to sign on, that's their right. But we are quite disappointed.
Cricket West Indies President Dr. Kishore Shallow remains non-committal about getting into elective politics in his native St. Vincent and the Grenadines, despite a recent poll showing he is highly favored among the Vincentian electorate. The poll, commissioned by the Caribbean Institute for Governance and Policy Research and led by University of the West Indies political science lecturer Deborah Bruce, puts Dr. Shallow just behind the opposition leader Dr. Godwin Friday as an alternative leader to Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, despite not publicly declaring himself a candidate. He also polled ahead of the two front-runners for leadership succession in the ruling party, Agriculture Minister Suboto Caesar and Finance Minister Camilo Gonsalves, the son of the Prime Minister. Dr. Shallow addressed his political future on local radio yesterday.
It is something certainly I will consider at the right time. And the very truth is, if there is a compelling enough call, and my family is in agreement that this is the time, then who knows, right? So that is it. But it's a discussion I would certainly have to have with my family, which I haven't had at this point.
This has been the morning edition from the Caribbean News Desk. You may contact us by phone or WhatsApp at +592 700 9293. Thanks for listening.
Audio Jungle.
In sports.
The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Football Federation, SVGFF, is deeply saddened and outraged by the violent attack on our national player, Kobe Minjit, that occurred last night, August 20, 2024. This heinous act of violence has no place in our society, and we stand firmly against such actions that threaten the safety and well-being of our citizens. President Otasha Spring, the Executive Council, and the entire SVGFF community express our strong condemnation of this violent act. Violence in any form is unacceptable and goes against the values of respect, unity, and sportsmanship. As an organization dedicated to promoting positive values through football, we urge the authorities to take swift and decisive action against those responsible for this senseless act. We also call on the community to unite in the fight against violence and to foster a culture of peace and respect. The SVGFF remains committed to the safety and security of all our players, staff, and supporters. We will continue to work closely with law enforcement and other relevant stakeholders to ensure that such incidents are addressed with the seriousness they deserve. Together, we must stand firm against violence and work towards a safer, more peaceful St. Vincent and the Windward Islands Cricket Board, WICB, and the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board, TTCB, are excited to announce the inaugural youth cricket series between the Trinidad and Tobago Under-13 team and the Windward Islands Under-13 team. This historic series will be held in Grenada from August 23 to August 28, 2024, and will feature 4 limited overs matches. The series marks a significant milestone in the development of youth cricket within the Caribbean, providing young cricketers with another opportunity to gain valuable experience and exposure at a competitive level. Dwayne Gill, president of the Windward Islands Cricket Board, expressed his enthusiasm for the upcoming series, stating, "This series represents a crucial step in nurturing the next generation of West Indian cricketers. We are thrilled to host the Trinidad and Tobago Under-13 team and look forward to witnessing some exciting talent on display. The experience gained by these young players will be invaluable as they continue to grow and develop in the sport."
This have been Bay Hill News Network Sports.
Jungle.
This have been Bay Hill News Network Morning News and Sports sponsored by.
This tasty roti skin can be found at Randy and Bonnie Supermarket, or you can order this tasty roti and skin at 1784-528-2979. That's 1784-528-2879. Looking for a place to relax with natural cool breeze and friendly surroundings? Then check the Bay Hill Tree Bar, located at Bay Hill Cane Garden. We have everything a bar will have. We also sell Shell 20 pounds of cooking gas at the Bay Hill Tree Bar.
Audio Jungle.